Yeah, well, that was great yesterday. It's always great when the season's over after 20 minutes.
I didn't think it was. I didn't think you were that bad, Andy. The real mayhem around the place. It's not so much what happened on the pitch, and we'll talk to Danny about that later on. It's more drama, the Sterling stuff. The sheer amount of players that you've still got a job out in a very short space of time.
It's very good business, isn't it, to go into a market where you've got about 10 players you have to move on, and the other clubs you won't get picked off or anything like that.
No, I mean, it doesn't give you a great bargaining position.
They're supposed to be so brilliant, these business people. They're supposed to be so clever. How clever is that, to leave yourself so vulnerable? People are going to go along, clubs are going to go, what do you want for Chalabar? Oh, 25 million. No, sorry, we'll give you 10. And they'll go, okay. Because that's what they do. They buy high and sell low. I could do that, and I'm one of the worst businessmen you'll ever meet, honestly.
And you had your own business, of course.
I don't know if it's some kind of master plan, and maybe someday I'll eat my words as Kendrick Paez scores the winner in the 2027 Champions League final. But at the moment, it's an utter mess.
You can't see the plan.
It's a mess. And
do you have sympathy for Sterling?
I do, because they treat people so badly. You don't need to do that. You could basically say to him at the start of the window, look, we'd like you to find a new club. We don't think it's really working. But don't take him all the way through pre-season. Yeah. Feature him in the material and then just leave him out.
He has played a lot of games, hasn't he?
Patsy Kensit holding the baby and having to say, it's a technical decision. Yeah, it's
Patsy Kensit?
That's what I call him. He's a patsy.
Oh, okay. What, Maresca?
Yeah, he's just a yes man, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Fair enough.
So, basically, last year under Poch, we gave City 3 very good games, 2 draws and a 1-0 at the Wembley in the semi-final, which everyone thinks Chelsea should have won, which they should.
Yeah.
Yesterday, it was basically, if I'd wanted to watch a City training session, I could have gone to the Etihad campus. Because that's what it was. It was just like a training session for them. They had about 8 gears to go through. It was so easy for them. We didn't give them a game. Yeah, we played some nice little football. We played it out, but how can you spend 1.2 billion and end up with Robert Sanchez in goal and Jackson up front? I mean, seriously.
Yeah. No, I do kind of take your point. There are 2 key areas, goalkeeper and striker, and they haven't really crack that.
The 2 sporting directors, Winstanley and Stewart, have got away with murder. If you think 25 million for Brighton's third keeper is good enough, you shouldn't be working in football. I've got a whole load of these. If you think Conor Gallagher isn't good enough for that team, you shouldn't be working in football. If you think Chalabar isn't, if you look at that debacle and think João Felix is the answer, you shouldn't be working in football. But really, honestly, I hope we get a transfer window ban, and the day we get it, they just fire those 2. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't get it. I don't get why they keep buying wide players. Why don't they buy a goalkeeper and a striker? They brought on an 18-year-old striker. That boy should be playing in youth football.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to be good in it. He comes from Barcelona. I'm sure he'll be good at some point. But not now, not against City, and not at that point.
No.
And it really says so much, that Kovacic was our best player, their best player.
Yeah, he was your best player at one point.
Havertz scored a great goal. You look at Chelsea, what they were world club champions. All right, they were in a bit of disarray because of the Abramovich and Putin situation and all that. But all Bowley needed to do was come in, give the manager 200 million, say, go and buy a striker, go and buy a goalkeeper, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Instead of which, they blew the whole thing up, started again, and they've got 43 players, and it's a complete and utter mess. Congratulations, well done. Honestly.
Maybe it's an elaborate bet. Maybe it's like some old Ealing comedy.
It's really
the £1 million note, whatever it was.
Quite. I mean, they had a better XG than City. City were there for the taking. Yes, there were so many players missing.
Yeah.
I know they still played some lovely football, but if your XG is higher than City, you should really win the game.
Were there any high points? Was there anything? I thought Pedro Neto did all right when he came on. Could have scored with his first touch.
But, Madu Aki, who's played really well in pre-season, has been our best player. Why didn't he come on? Why didn't he move Palmer into the middle? I didn't think his substitutions were good at all. Lavia was the best of the midfielders.
Yeah, he was.
And the big problem for a lot of Chelsea fans, and I think I agree really, is Enzo Fernandez. He's obviously a good footballer.
Yeah.
But he should be playing in Spain. He's absolutely not right for the Premier League.
Yeah, you just get
you just
like
look
that,
at it and you just go, this is so obvious. But they've spent 105 million on what they're going to do.
Yeah.
It's a joke. Absolutely. Well, not a joke. They turned our club into a joke, which is great. If I was a fan of another club, I'd absolutely love it. I think it was hilarious. So, but for us, obviously, it's not so funny.
Sterling did take a bit of stick, didn't he? I saw Michael Richards, who was a mate of his, sort of saying he thinks he was wrong to do what he did.
Yes, that was wrong.
I mean, it felt a bit pompous and a bit OTT after,
and it would be better if he'd actually been good. He's been pretty poor for Chelsea, and he's made some terrible. He said it was terrible against Leicester. He was terrible against Wolves last year when he had a chance to cross it and he didn't. He's done a lot of that, a lot of selfish play. But he's still Raheem Sterling. He still deserves a bit more respect than what they've given him, I'd say.
So you reckon about 10 are going to go, do you?
Well, they're going to go, yeah.
Well, they're going to get Chilwell's definitely going to go. They've said that.
They've got 10 players. I could list them for you. Don't really be just a series of names. Yeah. But they do have to sell them. If they don't sell them, then they're back to Potter. They're back to exactly the same situation that they lumbered poor old Potter with, which is far too many players, 10 miserable faces around the training ground, another 5 in the team that can't get in the team. That's not a recipe for a success.
They always say that they're off training with the kids, the ones on. I often think no one's thinking of the kids, are they?
No, they're not.
Poor youth team.
I think they're training in the car park.
Honestly, poor youth team trying to get hold of the ball.
It's No.
Well, we got a few things to get going on today. One of them involves the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, who played football yesterday. And I thought, what's that shirt he's wearing? It's a Donegal GAH shirt.
Oh, right. Okay.
So he's got this Donegal shirt on, and I looked at it, and it's relatively old vintage. Did a bit of research. I thought, I can't be the only one who's noticed that, because I was in that part of the world last year, had a cracking time, and apparently it comes from, he went there with his missus a few years back, had a lovely time, just bought the shirt, and now it's his go-to five-a-side shirt. When he plays, when he goes out and has a game, on goes the old Donegal shirt.
Well, I suppose really, if he wore, he's supposed to be an Arsenal fan. He could wear an Arsenal shirt.
Yeah, I suppose it gives him a little bit of distance on it. Now he was given a new one by the Taoiseach when he went and saw him, because he'd seen that he wore this old one. But yesterday he wasn't wearing the new shirt. That was the old one again, the old Umbro shirt.
Lucky shirt.
So we were just wondering if everybody has a bit of that. I had this old Bordeaux shirt that I bought for about £7 in Sports Direct years ago, and it's quite poignant, really, considering they don't exist anymore, sadly. But I used to always, I've got a bunch of football shirts I could wear for Friday nights, but I'd often go for the old Bordeaux shirt.
Gives you a bit of a je ne sais quoi.
Basically, I didn't play, considering I was often playing against Julian Laurent, who's about 50 times better than me, and the Bordeaux shirt didn't really cut it. But anyway, we've all got one, haven't we? We've all got one. If we ever go and have a game, it doesn't matter how many shirts you've got, you think, no, I'll just wear that one, Old Faithful. What's the story behind it and why? Do let us know. The one you reach for in the Keir Starmer envelope. I can't stand another season of, Andy, you want to kick us off?
Yes, I was thinking about that. I can't take another season of Nicholas Jackson being offside.
Yeah,
I can't stand it. The thought of having to watch that all season, I feel like not even going.
Yes.
I mean, there's a still frame yesterday of the goal, the disallowed goal, and he's actually looking along the line.
Yeah.
And he's thinking, I'm ahead of these people. Yeah. That can't be right.
Do you think he thinks that?
Has he ever been coached? What's wrong
There appears
with
to be nobody in front of me. I'll kick us. I mean, although I've not kicked a ball in anger till tonight, I saw enough against Munich to say I don't think I can take another season of conceding goals from set pieces. And then when we question it, Ange looks at us like we're all idiots who don't know anything about football.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.